Hey, everybody, welcome to. I can't even say good morning and welcome to Spill the Tea because the Q skirt has completely distracted me.
As it should.
You had to do that. You had to go there. I mean, come on.
It's the last time I could wear my Q skirt and have it make sense to the world.
It makes sense. Does it ever make sense? Does it really ever make sense?
It makes sense because it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
The life motto of Q saying, hey, you know what? Vote me out, Mike White. I love you and I miss you and you don't deserve to win, but Q, gone too soon. Gone too soon. I'm done mourning.
Are you done mourning? All right. Well, I don't know. Do you remember? Can you refresh? There we go. Can you refresh our memories on how incredibly accurate we were last week? Because I'm going to go with, I don't know if we were. I can't remember yesterday, so y'all have to remind me.
I'm still on my I met these robbed icons yesterday. We have Richard Hatch, the winner, the architect of Survivor, if you will, and Johnny Fairplay, a hoot, as they say. Fantastic getting to know them. And so I'm still like starstruck. I was hiding my fangirl inside me, trying to just be casual and comfortable in front of them. So right. I'm still like getting out of that. Like it's like a hangover type thing. But
you got fair play hangover.
How about that? Hatch hangover. A hatch over.
A hatch hangover. There we go. I love it.
So, anyways, I think we said D, and I think we had every logical reasoning to say D. But, and I forget, we watch so much Survivor and we talk so much Survivor that I forget when I started to realize it's Genevieve. And I think it was because there was either, I don't think it was a leak. I think on the preview they had mentioned, hey, here's what the tribe swap looks like because they took a picture or a video of seeing the three groups. And I noticed that Aubrey and Genevieve were still in the same tribe, and I know that Aubrey is going to play that idol for herself and get out Genevieve very soon. But we did not, nor did anybody.
Nobody saw it coming.
Say, Q, I'm mad right now. You know, I'm not mad because he's a great player. I'm mad because he just adds so much to the show. We had talked about that. Everybody's predicted the fact that Q is just going to run and just go crazy on the show when he gets there and influence and at the same time ruin everybody's game. And him, I did not have it that he was going to ask Mike White to vote for him.
No, that on my bingo card.
What is that? So we were not right. If we could, Bree, we have a special village called Vanua who has some picks, and we did this episode on this board we're about to show you. We are still, as a group, thinking Coach. 25% of people are saying Coach should go, or they're ready to see him go. And I think the prediction was D. Again, makes sense, but Q.
Yeah. I mean, it was. So for me,
I want to know.
When we said D.
So far, you're rhyming. You're just like Jeff Probst's song.
Oh, geez. Not trying. No, that's not where I'm going with this. Okay, so for me, I feel like she's in a better place than before the swap. And the reason that I say with D, specifically D, is that we heard her say last night of, all my friends were like, if you are on a tribe with Sari, you got to get rid of her like immediately. but she's like, I really like her. And I actually think of all of the players, I don't think Sari is going to be like, oh, she's one, we have to get rid of her.
Mhm.
I don't think that's her out. I do think that would be her strategy down the road, but out of the gate, I think Sari will always like the Black Widow. She will always like a girl band, right? Like she get the girls together. I think that put Dee in a much better position on the tribe with Sari. I can see them, even though it goes against what all her friends said. I think Dee could dump Sari easily when time came, but contagious to Dee's game to keep Suri around. Now I could be wrong, but
Meat shield, the meat shield thing, right? Like this is sweet shield. Let's call it the sweet shield because both of them are loved as far as their social game. I think it would be great for both of them. Dee has this thing where she's the last winner available, which is helpful for her. Not helpful that she's a winner, but helpful that she's the last one because they're like, all right, two of them are already gone. All we got to do in the next 21 eliminations is get her out sometime. So that is tremendous that she's not looked at as, hey, there's this band of winners that are going to stick together. She's got that. She's great with that. With John coming up to her, the swap was excellent for Dee because John's not thinking Dee anymore because he was dead set on having Dee out because I know that they're going for Christy and they had that she was in a mix of three ladies, which was Tiffany and her and Camilla. They needed one more. Were they going to get that one more? I don't know. But now John kind of has to partner with Dee because he's not necessarily too knowledgeable about some of the players that are still in the game. So he's like, all right, I got to get with Dee until we make this merge or until we do this next swap because I really don't know if I have anybody else comfortably. So, yeah, Dee is looking really good. I will not be saying she's eliminated this episode. I don't think.
I don't think so either. I think that tribe is so well balanced.
Yeah.
That and we know Sari isn't a challenge beast. We know that. But I also think her strategic skills do come into play in challenges because we saw strategically a really poor choice by putting Christian in charge of the calling in the challenge.
Okay.
And so I think, because we don't see that part, and I really wish we would. We don't see how they're deciding who does what, does when, like all of those things in a challenge. And I think it's absolutely crucial. So Camilla was a great choice because even though she's a little quieter, she still was powerful. And Chris, he was like falling all over himself trying to yell out stuff to people, and it was very confusing. And I think that was their downfall. Maybe he's great at the puzzle, but I don't know. He did not take command. And if nothing else, if Suri had been in that team, she would have been like yelling at him like louder and let's go and like getting his head back in the game.
Right. But I almost wonder if they chose him as a male because the other Christian's so darn strategic, and that's why I wish that Survivor would show us the reasons why they chose different players to do these things. Australian Survivor has been fantastic about showing those little pieces, and I don't know why they do that. But maybe he doesn't have that strong, commanding male voice. I think that could have been needed, especially with two other females that are given great communication. What is it in that tribe? It's him and Ozzy. Ozzy, I don't think would have done well when it comes to communication, loud, boisterous. Who are the other males on that tribe right now? I'm looking at it. Q. Oh man, that would have been something to watch. And then you have.
He would have gotten into an argument with himself during that challenge.
or been like,
Honestly,
hey, everybody come back, we're sacrificing. We're not going to win this challenge. And everybody's looking around like, are we serious, Q? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
But he has that male voice, that presence, though, that could have. I don't think Mike White was up for it. So I think out of all the teams, they really didn't have a strong caller that they needed.
Yeah.
My thoughts.
I think Chrissy would have been a great choice, but that's just me because she does like to
Chrissy
talk.
wasn't on that team.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, Chrissy could have been a good caller during that whole thing because, even though she was corrected that she talks too much and it hurt her feelings, and she does talk a lot, but it's okay.
Wasn't Chrissy there, though? Wasn't she the caller for Kalo?
No. Was she the caller? Oh my gosh. It was just last night. I told you I can't remember yesterday.
We're having issues.
I'm only on half a cup of coffee. I'm going to blame it on that.
Chrissy was the caller for Kalo.
Okay.
Mila for Sela. And then Batu's was
cute. No.
Christian. Yeah. We're there.
We're there. We're a great show, really. Trust me. Thanks for hanging out with us. We know everything about Survivor all the time. I want to go back to. I want to talk about the swap because that's where we started things basically. Yeah. And I wanted to throw this out there because this is the thing, the first thing that I wrote down, and I know it's happened in other seasons, but like to me, it was extremely obvious. And I think it is because we're coming off seasons 41 through 49, right? Mm-hmm. So in those seasons, it was like day one, this is our tribe. This is the people we're going to stick with. We're going to form these alliances. And then there is that kind of flippy floppy stuff that happens, but like they still look at it very, very much as this tribe versus this tribe versus this tribe. All the way through, we see that. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, they've got more people. We can't blah, blah. I don't think the tribes matter one iota this season. Like where you started, it's like they're not coming into this flop going, oh, I mean, we did hear it once, I think, oh, there's 4 of this and I'm the only one from this tribe and stuff. I don't think that matters at all. I love everyone's opinion on that, but I don't think it matters. I think it goes back to past relationships.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like if you have well spent time, I think who was it?
Mike White was talking about it.
Mike White was talking about it, but Angelina, I think, was like, I just met Emily Flippin like yesterday or something like that. And I believe that it was their conversation that was like, okay, yeah, past relationships are huge. The reason why Ozzy and Suri were huge together was big. The Millennials versus the David versus Goliath threesome. That was huge for them to be a part of the same tribe. They'll have to watch that out because you build your tribe and people start realizing you're voting together for this reason, this commonality too soon. We have 21 more people that need 20 more people that need eliminated. They better hide that as best as possible, just to show people, hey, we're not voting 3 strong all the time, because that could be a very powerful threesome. That's Mike White, Emily, and Angelina. But I agree when it comes to returner season, those pregame relationships, because not only is it pregame relationships, but it's probably pregame alliances. I would even say
100%
that some create prior to the game. We have the poker alliance, which was not necessarily really an alliance, but they could have taken great advantage of that in Winners at War.
I think that trained them for how to do this one, right? They looked at that one and they said, oh, there was this poker alliance, there was this, there was that, whatever. And whether there was that alliance or not, it didn't matter because they were assuming that, and it's all perception when you're on the island. This time they go in and they're like, we are not coming to this without these pre-made kind of alliances. And then I see it in the news, or I see people talking about, oh, they did pregame alliances. How can you believe it? I'm like, it's 50 seasons of players.
They've given 25 years to make some friendships. Yeah.
Y'all, I would expect nothing less than pregame alliances. I'm not mad about it.
I seriously think that even like, I'm not on Survivor, but why not treat your life like it's getting ready for your season of Survivor? by meeting as many people as you can and figuring out like who would you get along with and everything else. I think in Australian Survivor, they've had multiple seasons where two people knew each other outside the game on a newbie season, and it worked to their advantage. Now, the second part of that, Brie, which I'm agreeing with you on, is if you can turn something that isn't really an alliance and make people think it's an alliance, more power to you. That is how you beat those alliances. I think it was Yule or somebody brought up that these guys play poker together. It's time to like do them
Exactly.
in.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. And I think, I don't know if we're at the right segment for this yet, but I'll add it anyways, is that it was subtle. It was extremely not emphasized, but the time when Rizgod and Charlie were having their talk, and then Charlie goes into this awesome, great job, Survivor producers, awesome piece where he's just sitting at the middle of the night, like listening to Rizgod talk about how Maria would have been the one that he voted for, and he's just like staring like,
that was one of my favorite parts of the whole episode last night. Hey, what's that behind you? Over your over there. What is that? Is that Devin's? I haven't seen him. I just thought maybe he was there hanging out with you because Lord, we didn't see a thing with him this whole episode.
But that's what I'm getting to. Devins is not here.
Okay.
I've only met 2 survivors in the last week, so you gotta forgive me for that. No, it is Devins. I think to me said the most, and no one caught it. The most eye-opening best line of the night, and that's when he was the one. I think it was his voice that basically asked the question to Rizgod, hey, so you would have voted, or you thought Mariah deserved it? And if that was not a probing question into, hey, are you saying that Charlie, who's right here in this tent, did not deserve to win his season? A perfectly executed question at the right time. And
sure was.
Rizgod, who thinks he's aligned with Charlie,
is not at all.
Charlie is completely gunning for Rizgod, and I have popped the popcorn already. I have a couple caramels I'm adding to it. I'm ready for that take off. Oh,
I am too. That was like the only thing that he was like a drive-by shooting, right? It was like he just came dry and then dropped a bomb and then took off and was like, that's all I needed to do this
We episode. Might be too soon on the bomb comment, but
this is true. Well, I mean, it really, like, for Charlie, it landed, right? It landed to Charlie. He heard it. He was like, hold up, wait a minute. Nope. I will not have any of that in this episode. Like, in this season, I'm not doing that. I don't want to be a part of that. I got burned by that. No, how could you do this? It's kind of and we know from listening to the interviews with them that Charlie and Maria have not spoken since that happened. A great friendship that was completely destroyed by that. And I think maybe rightly so. It is just a game, but there are your feelings are involved. It can't be literally just maybe Maria needs to buy Charlie a Birkin. I don't know. It worked for Rob and Moira on the Traders, so I don't.
Skirt.
Well, yeah.
Get him a Q skirt.
There we go. Get him a Q skirt. Make things better. I don't know what needs to happen.
I love the angle. I love the angle. I love how, like, I wanted to see. I agree with Rizgod. He said this is Charlie's like revenge. Like this is Revenge of the Sith, Charlie Davis. Yep. And I'm here for the fact that Rizgod put Charlie in that position. And this is what happens when you've been only gone for 2 weeks from the game,
right?
Or you're a newbie, never playing with. I mean, you're playing with a completely different game of people, and I'm here for it.
All right. Speaking of Rizgod, one of my favorite lines from the whole night was Sari saying his name. When she was like, now I have the Rizgod. I was like, and then she goes, Lord help me. And
help me. And she said it perfectly. She was talking about how it's those times where someone shows up to your house for like to get some sugar or something, or drops off some bagels. I don't know what people do anymore. People don't do that. And, and when she mentioned, you're right, and we have the Riz God, like the whole entire premiere party I was at here in Indianapolis just cracked up all at the same time. Again, perfectly,
Yeah.
perfectly executed.
Yeah, so to me, that was one of the highlights of the evening was just hearing Cerie say that because it felt like to her, like it's like your friend's little brother that tags along and he's always got to make himself heard.
Mhm.
Maybe he's like 2.5 and he's like yelling about something the whole entire time. And you're like, oh my gosh, I please just let me do this. And he's just like, but me, pick me, pick me. He's a pick me. And
He's like a cartoon mouse.
yes. And
Right.
he might have a great game, but when you put in relation to some of these big players, I just think he lacks the maturity a bit. And it's they don't take him seriously. It might be their undoing. I've said it here. It could be their undoing. What if Rizgod is the undoing of the Cerie prophecy, right? So I don't know, but it's a possibility.
But in the thing, and at the same time, like he does grow on people. He has this uncanny ability. I tell you what, after watching with Richard Hatch, he has not grown on Richard Hatch.
Yeah.
Not grown on Richard Hatch, who is a fantastic. Can I tell you first how great Richard Hatch is and
Yeah.
airplay? You know, a show can basically make you look the part. And again, we're all sinners. We all have different issues with ourselves and we go through things. But at the same time, like there's very few people I've met who just have this just this ability to relate to people as much as Richard and Johnny did last night. So away from that, he has not grown. Rizgod has not grown on Richard Hatch. But we'll see if he can do the same thing naturally to Cerie as he did Colby, who had the switch too. But a dynamic character for sure, and we'll see if his game is accredited with he was a smart player for he was just not taken seriously enough to get all the way to the end to win. I don't see it yet.
I don't either.
But we'll see.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Well, do you want to get to that question real quick on the chat? And if you are with us, please ask us questions. We love fielding questions. Last complaint, because we've
why
seen
didn't Ozzy save Q? Why didn't Ozzy? I don't think it was part of his. I don't think he's that attached to Q at all. I think he voted for Q. He wasn't going to save Q. Right. I think that there was enough, for Ozzy to be like, I'm going to go with the flow. It's not me, Sandra, attitude on things. Yeah. And can I also point out that the reason that I'm starting to like Emily Flippin so much is that her last name is being used as an adjective. Because she was flipping.
She was flipping
last night. Was flipping crazy. So that's my new F word, flipping.
I wonder if that works.
And believe it.
I wonder if that works in life. I wonder if that works in life where you just can tell people, hey, I accidentally did 3 things wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Like, don't be mad at me. Like, it's working for her. It's not earning her any votes at the end of the game because obviously she can go back and the people that the more you ruin in Survivor, the less chance you have to win, obviously. If they're going to point out your faults in the game, she's developing that resume too. And it's not helping her game, whether people know she's not necessarily playing the best or whether she's telling everybody anything just to get as many people on her side as possible as trust chips. It's a hard game to control for 25 days.
It is. It is a hard game. But Emily is not controlling anything. She's not doing her like Christian's play by play of all of it was priceless.
And so was his
Um,
acting skills whenever
yeah,
Devin's told Suri, "Hey, it's a Billie Eilish," and he's like, like that was spectacular acting
I
school.
do like and here let's I do want to get it. I want to get into advantages and all these things. We saw Q say, I have an extra vote, right? When he had
Mhm.
no vote. So he's not only not telling them, but he like doesn't have a vote, he's doubling down and saying, oh, I have two votes,
Mhm.
which is hysterical to me. It made no sense. I didn't understand it. But and Mike White was like, what? He was just like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, and I
Did it
wonder
make him
too.
pause? No.
I wonder too, with Stephanie, if she could have utilized that a little bit better, knowing that she may be up against the votes. If she could have changed her handwriting a little bit to Q's, and then Jeff reads the votes, and all the votes except for one are on Q. And then I think Stephanie voted for Angeline, or who
Yes,
did she
she
vote?
did.
Did
Angeline.
she?
Hmm.
Okay. Or whoever, yeah, whoever she voted for, that could have easily maybe looked like Q's handwriting and she could have said, I went along with everybody else. Like the only person obviously that voted for him is that. I think they could have utilized that better and helped Stephanie out, make it seem like she's more with the group than not, and having be the only one who had a vote that was not himself.
So who do you think? And I love it. It hurts my soul to see Q go. It hurts my TV watching entertainment to see Q go. Not heartbroken over it, but I'm okay with that. It still was a lot of fun to have him around in the Q skirt and whatever else. He might have created something amazing,
Could
and
have.
we'll never know.
We never
Um,
will. It does
who
hurt my heart.
who gained power tonight? Who or last night? Who gained power? Who do you think ended up in a, and I kind of alluded to my choice would be D on that. I think she ended up in a much better position on the tribe she's in now than she
Mhm.
was previously. But who do you think really gained power tonight?
Yeah, do you have the Canva presentation? It can pop up those 3 slides with the
I do not. I
oh,
thought you were going to do the three
I
slides.
thought I was going to do it. Oh, I thought I shared it with you. Anyways, I'll just use my cheat sheet and talk. I want to get to memes. Meme view 2566 real quick. He says Ozzy knows that Q didn't have a vote though. Um, very true, very true, and I think that's fine. I think I'm trying to get what he's necessarily alluding to. Um, I
That's
don't
why I
know.
voted for him. Why I wasn't going to save him. He didn't, didn't have
Mm,
a vote. And he was like, I'm not,
I'm not going to say somebody who doesn't have a vote. Like we don't have enough power to save Q right now. And I think Ozzy's still trying to downplay himself. There's plenty more people that need to get voted out. He's doing a great job by keeping himself out of the spotlight, better
yeah.
than a lot of the other players are. So I appreciate that his game. So who after tribe swap? Who is in the best position? Meme View says Christian. Obviously, he's in a great place because it's the David and Goliath thing going on, where 3 of the people from that season are together in the same tribe. Looking at that some more, I think Mike White is in a great position. He wasn't necessarily in trouble yet, but I think that now he has some allies. I don't know if he really developed any allies while he was there. He was just being grandpa and kind of going with the flow. And now he has some people in his repertoire that he could be like, all right, let's bust this thing open. So I think Mike is in a great place. Batu just voted off their biggest and strongest player, so I think they're in trouble next week as well. So it's going to be no one knows Ozzy has an idol either. So
Oh, they do though. And that's the thing about these idols
oh, they do.
is yeah, they were talking about Ozzy has an idol. And the thing with these
Oh,
idols
they
and
did. But
Billie
does his tribe
Eilish,
know? Does his tribe know?
I don't know if his
Because who gave it to him? We got to talk this out.
okay, we have to talk this out. Who gave
It was Genevieve, and Genevieve only mentioned it to Stephanie. So Stephanie knows, which is interesting why Stephanie didn't say, hey, like Ozzy has this idol. We
But his name
should,
wasn't in their mouths at all. So,
right.
like,
And that may have been,
but she could have redirected and said, hey, you got to get Ozzy out of here. He's got an idol. And that's the thing. So I wanted to take a moment
yeah.
where I saw this boomerang idol from Billie Eilish, which is really cool. So well played, because when you find an idol, you have a choice of, I'm gonna is did anybody see me find the idol? Do I have to tell anybody about this idol? But actually, with this boomerang, immediately two people know that you have an idol now, right? You know, and the person that gave it to you. And in it, so it really changes idols, in my opinion, completely in this
Mhm.
game,
Yeah,
because
I
it's
love it.
not a secret and it does change the whole dynamic. So yes, we're going to give you idols, but we're going to mess you up in the
Mhm.
process.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's one
good
of my favorite.
gameplay.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite new idols. One of my favorite ways they've changed the game. I think since the new era began. I really am now thinking. This is my initial thought. Stephanie maybe wants to work with Ozzy because maybe she does see this three-way David Goliath alliance, or is maybe curious, and so she's not doing as much and kind of keeping that a secret to herself, which is smart gameplay that an old era player has about an idol who she really only had one or two, and Russell probably already found them before they got into the island on Heroes versus Villains to even worry about it. So I'm kind of impressed with that. At the same time, if she had no clue that that she could have done anything to help Ozzy, it's hard to tell. So if she's smart, she aligns with Ozzy and says, "Hey, we got to do something about this David Goliath thing because it's looking like they're doing a vote together." Emily is actually in a good place for someone who's rattled off all the information. She's with Ozzy too, and so she can easily go from White and Christian to Ozzy, maybe even Stephanie.
Flipping
But
all over the place.
right, which is a problem if people start talking and they realize, wait, why don't we just get Emily out for all the talking she's done? But I think Christian is too like Christian needs an Emily. I think throughout this game to do well. So I don't think he's going to do that. So it's going to be very interesting to see this Batu tribe go, especially with Ozzy having an idol.
I can see Steph working with Ozzy and then idling out Mike or Angelina. I think you do need to idle out Mike or Angelina. I think they do need to go. I think they're starting to really build some momentum in the game.
Mhm.
But who actually, besides Q going home, who do we think really was like lost power this week? Like looked like they were on the rise and then tanked.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, on the Batu tribe, I don't see anybody who lost a significant amount of power. So then you go to Kalo, you have Joe, who never really had any power or advantages really anyways. I think it sounded like he was on the brink of people's minds, so he doesn't qualify for this. I think with Aubrey having an idol now, I think it's Genevieve has lost some power, even though she's like having these relationships with everybody. All it takes is one idol play by Aubrey to get her off that island, and she's gone. So I think as long as Genevieve and Aubrey are on the same tribe, I think Genevieve could go home at moment's notice. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with you on that. I think Genevieve is now precarious. I do think Rizzo. I'm agreeing with Mean View on that because he was the first one that came to my mind. I
Who's that?
think Rizzo. I I think of all the. I think Rizzo is the one who thinks he's got to who's made steps up, and he's actually made steps down and doesn't realize it. And
Yeah.
I think that's like you have to have a good clear idea of what's happening around you, and he has no clue on this, and he thinks him and Charlie are buddies now, and they are not, and that is a very dangerous place for Rizzo
Mm-hmm.
because he's I think, and here's the progression. So let me just give you a peek of my mind. I think he came in scared because he's the newbie. Nobody really knows him. That gives him a little bit of an advantage, but he's with these people that he grew up watching. And it's like, whoa, like really crazy, right? And he's trying so hard. And then Colby comes in and he's like, hey, you're kind of cool, actually. You're like my own kid, man. You're awesome. Let's partner up.
Uh-huh.
And then Rizzo's like, woo, I am doing this thing. This is awesome. And now he's got Charlie, and Charlie's my best friend. And it is not that way, Riz. Nobody, maybe Colby liked you, but I don't know how many other people are gonna. We know Sari ain't crazy about you.
Right.
And Charlie is not your friend. Not your friend, dude. Sorry. And so I think he's put himself up at this position that he is not at. And I think he will have the biggest fall when, because he's just, it's not going to happen. And I don't know, I want to call it the like Maria curse now, maybe, like do me wrong like that, like it like he's doing that, right? He did that to Savannah.
Yeah.
So like it's, that would be the Maria curse.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's making that a thing this
Yep.
season. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
No, I am completely with you on that. And Sela is a very interesting tribe anyways. As we just got done talking about Batu, they have some pre-existing relationships that could work. I think that the Stephanie Ozzy thing could become a thing, as like the old school kind of tries to stick together as much as possible. David Goliath, we talked about that endlessly. So if you look at Sela, you look at that tribe, and it's made up of a bunch of, I don't want to say misfits, but just people who haven't played with anybody else in their lives. A lot of new era players. It's Rizzo, D, Camilla, Charlie, John. So 5 of 9 players are new that are still in the game from New Era, are on the same tribe. And it's just Suri and Rick Devens, who's in that like mid-era thing, that are a part of this. So it's a very cool thing. I can't wait to see what happens. I just think they have too much strength and smarts to have to go to tribal council anytime soon. But if it's going to be anybody, I agree with you. The Riz God, Lord help us all, is in trouble from the ghost of Maria. Yes, I agree.
I think that's the Maria curse that's gonna
that.
start following people. I do think that's gonna happen. So yeah, and Charlie is not having any of it. Worst move of the night, best move of the night.
Best move of the night. I hope that this is foreshadow. Rick Devens, the only line he had the whole entire episode of him asking the question, do you think that Maria deserved to win that season, in the same tent as Charlie, wide-eyed owl Charlie. That was my favorite move of the night, was that question. What was your favorite before we get to our worsts?
I really liked Devin. Like, to me, that shows perception, like,
Richard Hatch talked all about that last night, just about
situation awareness.
Situation awareness is the biggest thing you could have in the game of Survivor.
I've always said that. My son was a football player, and one of his best assets is that he had situation awareness.
Yeah.
That's why I get a pick 6. He was he could see the field. Wayne Gretzky's one of the best hockey players because he could see like 5 plays ahead, and he already knew what was going to happen.
Right.
He has great awareness. It's one of, I think, the biggest skills you take into Survivor is that, and Devens has that. I think he also he's so aware of. I think we're seeing him a bit restrained. We saw a lot of him last episode, the one before, where we're going to plant the thing and we're going to do the thing with Christian. And he was a little more in your face, where we saw it more of some of the strategy that Devens goes through. And in this one, he was like, I only got to say one thing, and I'm going to sit back here and let y'all are going to just screw it all up for yourselves. And I'm going to say low key in this, so that no one even remembers that I'm here. He's going to drop a bomb. He's going to walk away. And so to me, that was Devon's move. But I also think, because I do love Suri, that her ability to size up Riz immediately was, to me, golden. I think that he's unfortunately thinking he's a lot better than he is, and that's where his downfall will come from.
Well, and I think too, looking at the tribes again, Sela has the most situational awareness I've ever seen in one tribe.
Yeah.
It's Suri, Devens, Charlie, Camilla. I think Dee has some situational awareness to her game.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's great at it too.
Great at it. Rizgod does enough, or at least is just this natural person who changes your mind of him. And John, I think, has talked to Boston Rob enough. It sounds like he's been coached by Boston Rob in the past to where this tribe is loaded with situational awareness. And it's going to be exciting if they ever have to go tribal, which I don't think they're going to.
I don't think they're going to either. I think we're going to see that if they go to tribal, I think the sacrificial lamb will be Riz, depending on how deep in the game we go. But I don't see them really going to. I mean, they will all fit on Jonathan's shoulders, so we are good to go moving forward. I can see that working out. It's.
I think if Devens and Charlie could work together, that could be a powerful force. I just think they might have too much situational awareness about each other to be like, yeah, he's going to take me for a little bit, but it's going to be Cutthroat Island. And I better get him before I get got myself, So worst move of the day. I mean, Emily gave away so much information. Yeah. I think she gave them my social security number accidentally on the episode. I'm worried about that.
I have to agree. She was spilling. Maybe we need her on the show. That's what I think, because this is the Spill the ImmuniTEA show. Yep. We need to spill some tea, Emily. Flip and get your butt over here.
Flip and do it. Yeah.
I do like her this season a lot better than I did the last season. To me, I think you could bring her to the end and win against her. Mm-hmm. So I think she might have that enduring spirit that gets her through because of that. Yeah. But I don't, and I think I think she is completely fangirling and can't think straight right now. Yeah. I think maybe we'll see a shift if she gets over that and moves forward. But right now, man, her little mouth, it's not working. We can't have it. So
it's been closed for a week.
Yeah, she got to keep it flipping closed. It is, it's tough. So we are excited about all the fans that we have. Tell us about the Facebook group and where they can find it and who can join.
Yeah, so we have a Facebook group called The NUA Survivors, newest Facebook community group. 23,000 people are in it. And not only is it a group to drop your thoughts and everything else like that, but we have almost daily either the Tuesday Tribal, which you can vote for who you think is going to win the game way too early, lose the game, be voted out. And we have a poll, and it shows people where the whole entire Vanua community is. We have Fan of the Week Friday, which we're about to introduce that fan here in a second. We have Throwback Thursday, which is when we ask a question. The week's question this week is, who is your first Survivor crush? So Bree, do you have an answer to that question?
My first Survivor,
who was it? Who got your heart? Who did you not want to vote out?
So the season that did it, like, I loved the whole premise of the show, but the season that did it for me was Sandra and Rupert in the village, selling shoes, pawning necklaces, doing all the things. I thought it was, because that really gave us we've never done that since either. That was like was that Pearl Islands, right?
Yeah, it was like when you theme a birthday party, a pirate theme, it's going to be an instant classic. So that was,
it was, to me, classic. That was when my heart was like, that was it. I'm in this forever as long as the show is on. And I think it was just like, I just loved it. I loved everything about that season. I loved to me, and then to find out this stuff later, I was glad that Sandra got her necklace back, like different things. And Rupert became such a huge force. And like there was just so much. And I think, I don't know if it was like a specific person. It was Sandra and Rupert really together. Those two made that whole season for me. I fell in love because it was the season, like there were some dastardly deeds, right? Like they were
Oh, yeah.
doing stuff, and I really enjoyed it. It was like you had permission to be kind of naughty and do some things that, like those are just the things. I don't always make the greatest choices. We used to shoot my kids with paintball guns when they got off the school bus to teach them situation awareness. Now, we never hit them in the face and they were fine and we weren't very bad. And this was 30 years ago. So
Yeah,
the
when you could have a
statute
gun
of
that close to
limitations is
yeah.
gone. But like, so I was doing naughty things too, right? I was like, hey, heads up, crazy stuff. But my son played D1 football. So, I mean, come on, it probably helped him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, justify your parenting however you want.
Yes. So, okay. My kids turned out great. But like, I just loved, like, it was permission to be naughty on this show, where like it was before we saw the crazy that happens on reality TV and all that stuff right now. This was the first time that it was actually, in my opinion, let us do that. So that was a long story to get to. Sandra and Rupert, love those two to start with. I have met Sandra a couple times. I've never met Rupert. I would love to meet him someday. But yeah. What about you?
Mine was, I was a fan of players, but when it came to single high school Brandon eating rice while watching Survivor, no one rocked me as far as my heartstrings go like Kim Powers on Survivor Africa. Nobody remembers her. Nobody knows her. But I was like, ooh, it had nothing to do with the game.
Nothing to do with the game whatsoever.
So that was my crush. I don't know if she was smart. I don't remember much about her at all, but I was like, oh, okay. I see you, Kim. My wife right now, who I have, is much better. So if she's watching, honey, you're better than Kim Powers. Yeah, so that was my question. So anyways, you answer that question, you have a better chance of becoming our fan of the week, especially if you went to go search the idol in your state or states. I met somebody last night who carried around a Jeff Probst cardboard cutout and went to 7 different challenges.
Wow.
Month, so that's awesome. But this week's fan of the month, hopefully she's here.
She's not.
Oh, she's not? Oh, no. Okay, well, let me see where she's at.
She's got 8 minutes to get her buttons over here, and we're closing up. I got another meeting after this.
Perfect. So her name is Carmina. Hopefully Carmini, I believe it is. She is from Arizona. She is a lecturer at Grand Canyon University there, and she went to the challenge there, met, maybe it was in Utah, met Tyson and
ooh, great.
Yeah, so that's on my list. Rome, I believe, was one, and this season's Genevieve was also there at her stop. So very cool. She'll share her Survivor fandom experience throughout the last 15, 20 years in the community of Vanua. So we thank her and congratulations if we see her. You too can be a fan of the week if you write great things, post great questions, win on the idol hunt, and answer our polls and our questions on a weekly basis for all those watching.
I love that. Well, maybe you can take a minute, because I don't know about you, but going to a watch party seems like a great amount of fun. And you actually helped host it with Johnny Fairplay and Richard Hatch. They're going to be traveling the United States during this season. What is it like to attend and people go to these watch parties that they're hosting?
It's another level. It's another level. If you want an easy way to just increase your fandom, if you want a way to kind of get inside the game while watching the game, you go to one of these parties. They are in Cincinnati. They're in Indianapolis. They're all over the nation. Wendell and Bryce are out. They're doing their tour. Richard and Johnny, like you said, are doing their tour. So just find a party. And if you live in an area that doesn't have a whole lot of survivors around you, like our friend Alex, who's in Vietnam or some other country,
Right.
find 5 people to say, hey, let's get together and just have a party and just laugh and stuff like that. The moment that Christian started to fake his excitement or his astonishment about Devon's hiding idol from Surrey just to make her seem like he's just being told to, everybody was laughing out loud. It's just an extra part of the game. And there's different parts of it where I was watching Richard watch Survivor, although that sounds creepy and stalkerish, and I apologize if
It is, but that's okay.
We'll do it. When is the chance in life where you're going to be able to? I will watch this episode 3 more times this week. I will not watch it alongside Richard Hatch 3 times this week. And what a cool experience there. So down to earth. We'll answer all the questions and just yeah, they both have 2 different aspects of the game. So if you go to a Richard Johnny, one thing you'll see, Richard has a very like mental process and social awareness and the psychiatry of the game. And that's what he's after. That's who he wants to cheer for. He's a big fan of Camilla, I believe, because of that reason. He never has a winner pick, but he really likes those who have the social awareness. And then you have Fair Play, who wants good TV, and he's in it to see those people who are going to, do the dastardly deeds and do it just for the sake of great TV. So it's cool to see, especially those 2 completely 2 different Survivor minds. But
how did those 2 even pair up with each other? That's what I want to know.
They are both friendly guys willing to do whatever it takes, and those are the 2 that combine for this one. But they're good friends, and it was very fun to get to know them a little better.
That's fantastic. Yep. And if you're wanting to grab a Robbed Icons t-shirt, head over to eBay and just look up Johnny Fairplay and you will find t-shirts available for sale. What a cool shirt. What a great way to kind of memorialize the 50th season by supporting 2 amazing players that we've enjoyed watching over the years. And what it just seems like so much fun. I would love to have a watch party here in Minnesota. We'll see. We still got some episodes left, so it could happen still, but I'm excited. I would love to do a live podcast from a party. That would be amazing. Mm-hmm. So I've done live broadcasts before all over the place, so we can make it happen. I want to thank everybody. We had a huge turnout today watching the show. We appreciate all of you. Lots of comments. Meme View, thank you for, I don't know if I've seen you jump in before. I do feel bad for Tiffany, but I feel bad for Tiffany this season. I think she might come into play more. We did see her a bit with Aubrey and that relationship building. So maybe there'll be something there because Aubrey needs friends. So the sign is open for business, as they like to say.
And usually on these fraternity seasons, not getting too much screen time this early in the game could mean very good things for that player in the future. Tiffany doesn't have the one-liners that everybody else does. I can't think of her season and think of 3 things she did on the season she did. I remember her doing relatively well, but we'll see what that means. Bree, who is your player that will be eliminated in episode 4?
All signs point. Well, because he's on the team.
More signs are coming out.
I know he's on the team that I don't think is going to lose. Is the only reason I'm not picking Riz, because I do think, I honestly believe we are going to see an old school player go. I think it could be Chrissy. Okay. I think and it really just depends on how she handles the coach feedback, but I think it could be Chrissy. And I also think it could be Mike White. So those are I'm not sure, but maybe one of those might go home next week. Okay. What about you?
I think Sela is looking extremely weak. I hope to see an idol play, or not Sela. Batu is looking extremely weak, voting off their strongest player in Q. We could see them in a great deal of trouble. And so if it's them, I'm going to say that it is Ozzy playing an idol. And if he was smart, though he doesn't have his brain trust Surrey there, so we'll see what happens with that. I could see him voting out an Emily Flippin or no, not Emily Flippin, a Christian Hubicki, which would be crazy. I don't think they're going to lose though, because I don't want to see Christian go home, and I don't think that Ozzy has the wherewithal to make that move. If he does, yay for Ozzy. But I think it's going to be the other tribe we think could go to council, and that is Kalo. And I think that the episode is setting itself up for Aubrey taking out Genevieve with an idol, because right now it looks like Colby and Genevieve have the second strongest alliance there, next to Tiffany and Aubrey, who got along really well at the right time. So I see Genevieve heading home next week.
I can see that happening. Well, we're going to find out. We'll be back next week. We have more guests coming in. Alex will probably be back. He's somewhere over in Vietnam right now, or he's on his way to Fiji to find Hugh and his skirt. We'll see, but thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Brandon.
Goodbye,
everybody.